Armenia and Azerbaijan agreed to end the war.
Here's a summary of the article.
Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan says he has signed a statement with the leaders of Russia and Azerbaijan on ending the Karabakh War. Later, the Kremlin spokesman confirmed that the Russian and Azerbaijan presidents and Armenia Prime Minister adopted a joint statement on the cessation of hostilities in Karabakh. Together with the presidents of Russia and Azerbaijan, I have signed a statement on the termination of the Karabakh War from 1 o'clock. The text of the statement that has already been published is unbelievably painful for me and people, Pashinyan wrote on his Facebook page on Tuesday. According to the Armenian premier, he made the decision as a result of a deep analysis of the military situation in the region. Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev said on Monday that his country would stop combat activities in Nagorno-Karabakh if Pashinyan guarantees that the Armenian troops will be withdrawn from the regions of Agdam, Kalbahar and Lakan. The Russian Foreign Ministry said earlier Moscow does not support force as a means of resolving the crisis and called on the parties to an early cessation of hostilities. Prior to that, the Azerbaijani side said it had seized control of the city of Shusha, the second largest town in Nagorno-Karabakh, as its forces were closing in on the capital of the self-proclaimed republic.
This post received a score of 81,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Update 1. According to the protesters in Yerevan have dragged the President of the National Assembly out of his car and beaten him up severely. Video loud, distressing. Here. Update 2. The protesters have now and demand that the military should take over power and continue the war with Azerbaijan. Update 3. A mob of 40 men has entered the office of Radio Free Europe in Yerevan and beaten up a journalist and a cameraman working there. Update 4. The injured President of the National Assembly, see Update 1, has been brought to a hospital and is undergoing surgery. He is not in a life-threatening condition at this moment according to Pashinyan.
Me, reading the headline, "Oh that's nice, good for them." Me, reading the top comment, "Whoa what the fuck."
What's happening is it's fundamentally a loss for Armenia as their forces were on the verge of losing the entire territory, as Azerbaijan forces had already captured a lot of the territory. So the Armenian people are looking for vengeance upon their leaders for accepting this. However, the Armenian PM probably didn't have much choice given the military defeat. The terms of this agreement seem to allow the Armenians in the disputed region some amount of self-governance similar to what there was before the war.
This is a translation of the agreement.
Honest question that I hope doesn't offend, but how common is this situation where a country's military occupies another for that long to peacekeep? As an American, and having been pretty pissed off with my country and its involvement in the Middle East, am I wrong for thinking that this is shady? Really, just knowing how often and what countries have done it to what results would be great if someone knows. This is standard peacekeeping for a military power. Sure, it sounds shady as fuck, but I do think Russian presence is necessary to deter both parties from further conflict. Of course it's gonna increase Russian influence and they're gonna build some bases, but this is standard for global powers. 5 years isn't probably enough for tensions to de-escalate when this war was brewing for a few decades. The Allies stayed in occupied Axis countries for decades.
But TBF, this hasn't started a Cold War, nor was the war as massive and destructive as WW2.
Incredible development. Significance of this cannot be understated. This is not some small ceasefire. This is seismic. It's an agreement between Armenia, Russia and Azerbaijan that involves significant concession of territory and Russian peacekeepers in the region.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.